Good day, class. Good day, everyone. I am here for another review material. This time, I have used two subjects for this video. So we are going to meet different questions and problems about social dimension of education as well as the teaching profession. So these two subjects are still uh, under professional education subjects. So I believe that these subjects are not new to you since these are included in the subjects that have to be taken up by students like you who are pursuing continuing professional education. So brace yourself for some inputs to be given later on. Okay, first question. Teacher Helen is not only a competent teacher, but also a community leader in their place. In this regard, which of the following should not be done by Teacher Helen as a teacher? So, in this question, what we are trying to identify is the very thing that Teacher Helen should never do because uh, it disqualifies her to become a competent teacher and as well as a community leader. So atong pangitaon diri kung ang mga butang or ang butang nga di dapat buhaton is a community leader sa ilahang lugar. A. Provide projects for her community. B. Participate actively in the activities of the community. C. Seeking the support of philanthropists for the realization of the projects of the community. D. Make herself detached or aloof to everyone in the community so that her decisions or actions will have no influence of community politics. So the correct answer is letter D. Make herself detached. Remember that it is said in the situation that Teacher Helen is a community leader in their place. So therefore, or she has to attach herself to everyone in the community. She has to build connections or make connections with the people in the community. So letter D is the correct answer. The thing that Teacher Helen should never do because she is a competent teacher and also a community leader in their place. Number 2. Mrs. De La Peña is an education professor for more than a decade. In her class, she asked this question: what type of learning environment should a teacher implement in a highly pluralistic society? If you are her student, what would be your answer? A. Safe, secure, and gender sensitive. B. Safe, secure, and gender biased. C. Safe and gender biased. D. Secure and gender biased. The correct answer is letter A. A school environment should be secure, and gender sensitive. Gender sensitive. When we speak of gender sensitivity, this means that the school should never discriminate those students who have different gender from what's normal, or those students who belong to the LGBTQ&A plus. So letter A is the correct answer. So when we speak of being gender bias, meaning umintag gender bias, meaning you are not gender sensitive. You you are not you are, I mean, discriminating those members of the LGBTQ&A plus. Okay, the correct answer is letter A. Number 3. To be an effective classroom manager, teacher must be friendly but at the same time be blank. A. Highly demanding. B. Business-like. C. Body-body. D. Rigid. The correct answer is letter B. Business-like. Meaning to say, a teacher should be friendly. However, you should be business-like. If you have say for example a project to be assigned to the students, you see to it that they will comply with the project. It's like dealing with businessmen or business people nga nga kanang You treat your students as your clients, wherein they have to comply something from you, and also you have to respect them. You have to be sensitive with their needs. Uh, it's a give and take relationship. It's like business, wherein both of you, the teacher and the students, will grow together in the classroom. So it should be business like. It should never be a teacher should never be highly demanding, because when you tend to be highly demanding, you you will somehow lose respect from your students. And worse, if your students would really um, hesitate, or should I say would to resist to obey your demands, or to follow, or to comply with the requirements that you set for them. So body-body, meaning easy-easy ra ka, so di ko siya pwede. Rigid, meaning you're so strict, same na ni siya sa letter A nga highly demanding. So the correct answer should be letter B, business-like. Number 4, Mrs. Concepcion is a public school teacher for 35 years. Wow. Every time she was asked by her principal to attend a seminar, she refused and requested that the new teacher be the one to take her slot. Is this correct? A. Yes, Mrs. Concepcion had enough of these seminars. B. Yes, Concepcion is about to retire and these seminars will have no longer use of her. Letter C. No, Mrs. Concepcion should take every opportunity to attend a seminar for her own professional growth. D. No, Mrs. Concepcion has the prerogative to what seminars she will attend to, or she will attend. Okay. So in this question, let us be reminded that learning is a continuous process. Regardless of your age and experience, you should never stop learning. Diba? If you feel like you've learned a lot, you have to unlearn. You have to unlearn in order for you to learn new things. Diba? Sometimes when we resist to learn new things, we are somehow uh, mura taog na box in ta with the traditional knowledge that we used to know. So dapat kung bisan og dugay na ka sa DepEd or dugay na ka sa service, you really have to embrace new things, changes, mga innovations. So the correct answer is letter C. Mrs. Concepcion should take every opportunity to attend a seminar for her own professional growth, because again and again, learning is a continuous process. It should never stop, or it doesn't stop. Number 5. Teacher Alice doesn't like Maria, her student who is expected to graduate as class valedictorian. In this regard, she is so impartial to her and gives her low marks in recitation and project. Is this correct? Letter A. Yes, it is the right of every teacher to determine the mark of every student. B. Yes, it is human nature to feel disgust to an individual. C. No, it is a mortal sin to hate anyone. D. No, it is a must that every teacher should not be impartial to each student. Obviously, the correct answer is letter D. Teachers should not be impartial to each student. Meaning to say, bisin pag di ka ganahan ng bataan na magina, that's normal nga natay mga estudyante nga murag di ta ganahan, labi na example kinta hay anak sa ato ang kontra, o di ba ka anak sa imong ex whatsoever, murag magsurok imong dugo. But then you have to be reminded that the teacher should always be just and fair to every student he or she has in the classroom. So letter D. It's very unethical for a teacher to deduct grades from the students that he or she doesn't like. Okay, so the correct answer is letter D. Number 6. Mrs. Quinay or Kinay was asked by the parent of Michael, her favorite student, to help them to get the concession of the school canteen. Mrs. Kinay effortlessly made this possible for Michael's parents. This made Michael's parents to give her a brand new refrigerator as a gift. How should Mrs. Kenai react in this? A. Accept the gift since she has made a favor for Michael's parents. B. Accept the gift and ask Michael's parents to be discreet about their dealings. C. Accept not the gift and politely explain that it is against the principle of a teacher to adhere in such practice. D. Accept not the gift and tell to Michael's parents that you prefer cash over the refrigerator. So obviously the correct answer is letter C. Again, just like in the previous question, a teacher should always be just and kanang should never be impartial. Dapat fair ang teacher. You should never indulge into favoritism or giving favor to anyone in students or sa mga parents sa mga bata. So you should never accept the gift and explain to the parents nga bawal siya nga modawat og butang or gift, cash man na or in kind in return sa favor nga ilang gipangayo. Okay? That's against the code of ethics for professional teachers. Okay. Number 7. The code of ethics for professional teachers covers. Okay, diretso na tani. The correct answer is letter D. All public and private school teachers in all educational institutions at the preschool, primary, elementary, and secondary levels, whether academic, vocational, special, technical, or non-formal. So, the Code of Ethics contains kanang mga standards nga angay i-follow sa mga teachers in order to preserve and to maintain their dignity as a teacher. So, ang na-cover aning Code of Ethics kay katulad mga teachers nga nag-teach from preschool up to secondary level regardless sa ilang major or sa ilang subject ang gitudloan. Excluded sa Code of Ethics ang tertiary level na teachers. Okay, so the correct answer is letter D. Both public and private school teachers from preschool up to secondary levels. Okay, question number 8. Which of the following is a mark of a good teacher? A. Has the control of the class. B. Has the mastery of the lesson. C. Has the capability to implement corporal punishment. Letter D. Has the habit of preparing for visual aids. So automatically, we have to cancel letter C because teachers are really not allowed to inflict corporal punishment in the classroom. Corporal punishment refers to those punishment na like pamalo, lusi, mo bang ihapak ang bata. These things belong to corporal punishment and these are not encouraged. These are prohibited inside the classroom. So automatic C, tanggal na ni. Letter A, B, and C, muna sila ang, although these qualities are really important to be possessed by a teacher, nga dapat na siya control, na siya mastery, na po siya passion in creating visual aids. But the most important among these three options is for the teacher to have the control of the class. So, mo-follow naman good ng basta na kay control sa imong klase, mo-follow na ng effective learning. Na naman, because the students are in place, the students are listening to you, the students are intact, meaning, disciplined ang mga estudyante basta na kay control sa imong klase. This refers to your classroom management. If a teacher possesses the skill on how to manage the students inside the classroom, most likely effective learning will take place. Sir, how about mastery of the lesson? Yes, this is also important. However, magunsa man na imong mastery of the lesson, nga bright ka sa imong topic, but then your students are not listening to you. Anyway, kining mastery of the lesson, this can be learned, this can be enhanced through research. Mag-research ka una kay topic nga galisod ka unsang pagtudlo. Pwede po ka, you can consult with your co-teachers, you can seek assistance from them sa mga master teacher, di ba? So, kining letter D po, visual aids. Although visual aids are important, but then visual aids cannot and do not replace the teacher. Kung sa man imong nice ng visual aids, and then ang imong mga estudyante wala nang minaw nimo because they're doing something, they are fighting each other. So the best mark of a good teacher is a teacher who has the control of the class. The correct answer is letter A. Now let's go to number 9. Under the learning to do, which of the following instrument must be acquired so that a person can perform his work effectively? Okay, gamay lang nga background. Learning to do is one of the pillars of education. There are actually 4 pillars of education as proposed by Jacques Delors. First is the learning to know. The learning to know pillar refers to the importance of providing knowledge to our students. Dapat as our students graduate from the school, dapat nasa ning learning to know. Meaning, they have to know. They have the skill how to know. They have the knowledge. They have the know-how. Ano siya? Learning to know. We should teach our students how to know, how to get information, how to access information, how to uh, how to know fake news or misinformation from correct information. That's learning to know. Next pillar is learning to do. Learning to do refers to the skill that the school should provide uh, students the necessary skill in order for them to perform a particular task. Dapat di lang kay knowledge atong i-provide nila, they should also know how to apply that particular knowledge in the real life situation. Kaya itong mga bata, musukot sa di, when they graduate, mangita din sa trabaho. So they should have to possess this pillar, the learning to do. Next is the learning to live together. We are also teaching our students to be a friendly citizen, a citizen who respects other people, a citizen who respects other people's opinions and beliefs for them to live harmoniously in the society. So learning to live together is the third pillar. The last pillar is the learning to be. Learning to be refers to the task of kuan. Ang task nato aning learning to be as a teacher is for our students. We teach our students to become productive. Learning to be or learning to become asset in the society. So, once na aning 4 pillars na achieve ni sa eskwelahan, na implement ni sa eskwelahan nato sa mga bata, rest assured that that particular school is producing students who are productive and responsible citizens in the community or in the country in general. So, balik ta. Learning to do. Learning to do should be acquired by the person so that he or she can perform his work effectively. So, learning to do refers to competence. The correct answer is that there be competence. So, competence or skill. Number 10. Life is what you make it. Exemplifies best what blank is. So our options here are all philosophies of education. So let's try to unlock all these options. Let's start from letter D, essentialism. So in essentialism, kung sa may ni essentialism, teachers should try to embed traditional moral values and respect for authority. So the main goal of this philosophy is to produce students who are model citizens in the country. So another definition aning essentialism is the back to basic. Unsay basic, unsay pinaka-importante mga itong itudlo sa mga bata, the reading, writing, and arithmetic or the math. So this belongs to the essentialism. People who believe in essentialism are called essentialists. So, letter C, progressivism or progressivism. So, may naani. From the word progress. So, there is growth, di ba? So, according to the philosophy of progressivism, people learn best from what they consider most relevant to their lives. So, how do we apply this in the classroom context? So, sa ito pa, as a teacher, we have to make sure that our lessons are relatable, relevant to the students. Meaning, in planning our lessons, we should make sure that we consider the interests of our students, their level of readiness, their their level of intelligence, ilang mga beliefs, ilang mga hilig, for us to make sure that there is effective learning to happen. Nga naman, wala siya tinobitano nga og ma-feel nato nga ang lessons, ang examples at mga teacher kay relatable, mas engaging ang lesson niya, ang result ana mas mo learn pud ta about the lesson. So that's the concept of progressivism as a theory or as a philosophy. Letter B, humanism. So sa humanism, gi-emphasize nila nga human needs and values are more important than religious beliefs. So mas importante nga ma-meet sa tawo ang needs, pagkaon, iyang education, ug uban pa mga needs niya over anything else, over religious beliefs. Kay para niya, ang tao mao nag-create og kagalingon niyang set of values and ethics, dili gikan sa Ginoo or sa supreme being. So, mana sa humanism. Sa existentialism believes that we should give our students the choice to exist, the choice to to do what they want, to prefer what they want, because we're given their freedom. Ang existentialism is more on choice magod, meaning we're giving our students the options na sila mismo ang pili. So sa ato pa, among these four philosophies, kining quote nga life is what you make it, this exemplifies best to existentialism. Nga naman, because life is what you make it, ang connotation mo kanina, implication niya is choice, diba? Freedom. So letter A is the correct answer. Okay, number 11, another situational question. Mr. De Guzman is regarded as the best teacher in their school. He is known not only because he teaches well, but also because of his integrity and credibility. In addition, he is also an advisor in their barangay. Without the knowledge of everyone, he is consistently attending the cockfight, sabong, in his adjacent town every other day. He is also known of betting a big amount of money in every game. Can he continue doing this considering his profession as a teacher? Of course, the answer is letter C. No. This activity will not merit him reasonable social recognition. Diba? Ang atong Bible sa teacher is the Code of Ethics for professional teachers. Apil ana nga we should not divulge, we should not engage into gambling or unsa pa na mga bisyo. Okay, we are models. We are models of the youth, and we wanted to serve as the paragon of virtues to our students. Number 12. What do you think would be the action of a teacher who found out and has proven that his principal is involved in the malversation of funds of their school? So, magawas na rin pagkamarites sa teacher. So, unsa kay correct answer ani? A. Malign her through an anonymous letter. B. Circulate this issue and let it become a gossip. So, marites ni letter B. Letter C. Present the charge to a competent authority. Letter D. Ignore what teacher has discovered about this action of the principal. The correct answer is obviously letter C. Present the charge to a competent authority who will take an action against the principal who is involved in the malversation of funds. Ay naman siya ipanglibak kay teachers, we are not allowed to involve or to engage in mga libak-libak, mga gossiping. 13. After listening to the homily of the priest about fidelity, Catherine has a moment of reflection. Her understanding of the value of fidelity has become deeper as she related this to her past experience. Past na siya part. This typifies what kind of philosophy. The correct answer is letter A, constructivism. Okay, once a student relates new knowledge to his or her prior knowledge or past knowledge, that is that is one example of, one implication of the philosophy of constructivism. Why? Because the student here is constructing his own knowledge based on based on or by just comparing or relating his previous knowledge and the current or the present knowledge he receives. So, nag-interact ang iyang past o ang present na knowledge that is part of constructivism. Mo lang under constructivism, kung teacher ka, you should start your lesson with a review. Ano naman, you have to connect the previous lesson to the present lesson so that there is continuity of learning. And that is part of constructivism, relating the past knowledge, the past experience to the present one. Number 14. Teacher Ryan is a new teacher. She realizes that handling her students' misbehavior is a very demanding aspect of classroom management. In this regard, she thought of giving up teaching. What advice can you give her? Okay, so one way of avoiding or preventing misbehavior to occur in the classroom is by setting ground rules for the whole class. So the correct answer is letter C. Set the ground rules for the whole class. Now actually, kining setting of ground rules or house rules, dapat this is done collaboratively between the teacher and the students. Most probably buhaton ni siya sa beginning of the school year. Say for example, June, kung June mag-start. So dapat by June, naka-establish na mo ikaw ang estudyante og house rules. Meaning to say, in crafting the house rules, you have to involve the students. Mangayo kanila kung sa kay dapat buhaton na ipanglista ka ng mga suggestions nila, and then imong i-organize nimo nga katong similar nga mga house rules, imo siyang i-fuse into one house rules until mo come up ka o like 8 or 10 ka house rules nga i-follow sa classroom. So, what's the purpose of involving the students in the crafting of house rules? The purpose of that is to let them feel that they somehow also own the rules. Kaya kung part sila sa rules, sa crafting sa rules, they are less likely to break the rules. Nga naman, kay appeal gusto sa nagama sa balaod. So, the correct answer is letter C. Pero, kung nakita nimo nga, grabe gud ang mga bata, misbehave sila. So, that's the right time that you have to impose your own rules. Na siya. Pero, do not forget nga, ang classroom, democratic din siya. Democratic ang classroom, students have the freedom, mo nang they should take part in any of the classroom activities. 15. If a teacher is an advocate of banking concept in education, he or she viewed student as, the correct answer is letter A, clear account to be filled up by the teacher. Meaning banking concept in education, the teacher here believes that his or her students are empty vessels or kanadong walay na mauhan o nabangko pa, walay sud, zero balance. Then the duty of the teacher is to fill in something worthwhile, something na magamit sa bata in the future. So you have to fill in knowledge, and then the role of the students under this banking concept is just to receive, to memorize, and to repeat what they are given or they were given by the teacher. Okay. Okay, question number 16. After studying the principle of identity, actually, this is a math lesson. Kining principle of identity, something to do with x and y variable. Teacher Beng asked her students to determine which among the given set of problems conforms to the said identity. This shows the teacher Beng upholds this kind of philosophy. Take note ha nga, the situation, or in the situation, teacher Beng is a math teacher and then she wanted to call a particular student or ask the students generally nga to solve the particular problem. So perhaps board work ba ni or actual nga problem solving skills sa math. So asa ani nga philosophy ang gi-uphold ni Teacher Ben? The correct answer is letter B, progressivism. So under day aning progressivism is the learning by doing. So under this philosophy, progressivists believe that children will learn better, will learn more, will learn best when they are when they're doing it. Meaning when they are experiencing it or practicing it. So maka-learn ka kuno kaso sa kabutang kung nakasuway ka. That's progressivism. So letter B is the correct answer. Unsa po ning perennialism? Perennialism, this is ang iyahang ang implication aning perennialism is that ang focus I mean sa teacher is about the ideas that have existed over centuries. Kanang dugay lasting nga mga ideas, example history, mga writings from famous writers and historians. Manay focus sa perennialism nga dapat ang itudlo kuno sa mga teacher is katong mga lasting nga mga ideas. Katong naka-survive over a decade or over a century. So, in this particular philosophy of education, teacher is bookish. Bookish ang teacher kay nakadepend na sa libro. Nya, subject-centered po siya, not child-centered or learner-centered. Letter D, naturalism. Kini nga philosophy has something to do with mga gods and goddesses, spirit, soul, universe, nga na ang focus sa teaching. Kining essentialism ako na discuss in the previous discussion. So again, the correct answer is letter B, progressivism, because in that situation, teacher Beng asked her students to solve a problem. So pinaagi sa pag-solve sa problem, the students are doing something for their own learning. Number 17, Teacher Carol is a neophyte teacher. Neophyte means new, bago. One time, a mother of one of her students confronted and maligned her in front of her colleagues. How should Teacher Carol react on this kind of situation? So, gisong siya og parent, giaway siya og parent. Sa kung may reaction dapat ni Teacher Carol? A. Walk away and ignore the mother. B. Answer back the mother and malign her too. C. Allow the mother to keep on maligning her until it's her turn to do the same. D. Wait until the emotion of the mother subsides and invite her to discussion or invite her to discuss the concern with principal or guidance counselor. The correct answer is letter D. So, kung nasuko imong parents, gisong ka, ayaw po, banghagi po equally or in return. Dapat you wait until mahurot ang emotion sa ang kasuko sa parent, and that's the time nga you have to have a heart-to-heart talk with the parent to discuss about the problem or the issues na nakapatrigger sa parents kung ninsong siya or nasuko siya. So, you can do it in the principal's office together with the principal or the guidance counselor. Letter D is the correct answer. Number 18. During the distribution of the report card, which of the following must be the foremost concern of a teacher? Very important question is that. Report card meaning katong kalagaring card na ihatod sa mga bata at the end of a quarter or grading period. So, unsa ko na imong buhaton na as a teacher? A. Discuss the projects of the school. B. Discuss the progress as well as the deficiencies of the student. C. Discuss the unsettled bill of the students. Mangmaliktakas iyang utang sa mga bata o panabayre. Or letter D. Discuss the complaints of other teachers and classmates of the students. The correct answer is letter D. The distribution of the report card is the avenue for teachers to inform the parents regarding the progress and the deficiencies of the students. So letter B is the correct answer. Hisgutan ninyo sa paghatag og card ang ngano unsay maayo o dili maayong buhat sa bata sa eskwelahan o sa iyang performance. B is the correct answer. Number 19, Which of the following would best describe the role of schools? A. To educate the citizens. B. To fit the citizens into the society. C. To educate the citizens to change the society. D. All of the above. The correct answer is letter D. All of the above. Okay? So, ma-confuse mo yung letter C. To educate the citizens to change society. So, di ba change is permanent? So, of course, dapat from time to time, society has to change in order to keep abreast with the modern society or the modern technology. So, dapat tudlo ng mga bata o sa mga new trends na maka-impact sa society. 20. Which of the following is the political purpose of the school? The correct answer is letter B, to foster patriotism and loyalty to the existing political order. Mabita na sa eskwelahan nga, every morning, naging ang flag raising ceremony because that's one way of fostering patriotism and loyalty to the country. So that's part of the political purpose of the school. Di kay ang eskwelahan mo tudlo og kinsang politiko or politician ang butaran, no. Dapat ang eskwelahan is syempre non-partisan man siya. Pero we should also educate our students kanang kuan about leadership, about political leadership, patriotism, unsay angay buhaton to save our country from mga invaders, unsay lang matabang as a citizen to help improve the economy of the country, to maintain the values desirable kanang virtues sa atong country. So that's part of the political purpose of the school. So the school should never teach mga misinformation, disinformation to the students. Only facts that are non-negotiable. Number 21. How will you classify the purpose of the school as it concerns with the training and preparation of citizens for the world of work? Meaning world of work, trabaho gini siya. So this belongs to the economic purpose of the school. Letter C is the correct answer. Kaya iskot man og trabaho. Of course, the world of work could impact the economy of the country. So letter C is the correct answer. 22. Which of the following will best describe the purpose of holistic education? Holistic, meaning it covers across aspects of human life or education. A, to prepare the student to meet the challenges of the living and schooling. B, to prepare the student to meet the challenges of schooling and society. C, to prepare the student to meet the challenges of the living and society. D, all of the above. The correct answer is letter D, all of the above. 23. To ensure holistic education, students must have knowledge and understanding of A, themselves and their healthy relationships with others. B, social development and resilience. C, beauty, truth, and transcendental experience. The correct answer is letter D, all of the above. Question number 24. Which of the following is not correct under the Code of Ethics for Teachers regarding teacher and business? The correct answer here is letter B. A teacher has no right to engage directly or indirectly in legitimate income generation, provided that it does not relate to or adversely affects his work as a teacher. So what makes letter B wrong? Okay, the teacher has no right. Kanang word nga no makes this statement not correct because teacher has the right for legitimate income generation. So, pwede magtukod og business ang teacher for as long as this business does not affect or adversely affect his work as a teacher. Letter B is the correct answer. Number 25, Teacher Mellie, a neophyte in the field, experienced for the first time the complaint of the mother of one of her students during the distribution of the report card. Which of the following do you think must be attitude of Teacher Mellie? A. Bring the parents to the guidance counselor. B. Ignore the complaints of the parents. C. Listen to the complaints of the parents with sympathy. D. None of the above. The correct answer is letter C. Listen to the complaints of the parents with sympathy. So you have to listen. If ever you meet parents who will say something or who have complaints regarding sa ilang bata or nabay nasumbong ilang bata nila niya ilang i-complain po nimo for clarification and to immediately solve or resolve the issue. 26. Tia listens to the advice given by your sister to end the relationship that she has with Gilbert. However, her sister learned that the advice she has given was not followed and Tia decided to continue the relationship. This action of Tia is manifestation of what kind of philosophy? Remember that Tia decided on her own not to not to end the relationship with Gilbert. So therefore, Tia exhibited freedom of choice. So the correct answer is letter B, existentialism. Number 27. Teacher Leor and student Joy are mutually attracted the first time they see each other. This mutual attraction developed into love. Eventually, the teacher-student relationship also becomes a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. What should they do? A. Continue the relationship, but teacher Leor must exercise utmost professional discretion so as to protect the interests of one another. B. Stop the relationship because teacher Leor is not allowed to have a romantic relationship with any of his students. C. Defer the relationship and wait for the right time. D. None of the above. The correct answer is letter B. Stop the relationship because um, teachers are not allowed to have a relationship, a romantic relationship with any of his students because this is so unbecoming and unethical for him or her. So if ever makamit mo aning nga scenario, you have to avoid this one. You have to remember that you are not allowed to establish a romantic relationship with any of your students. Number 28. After finishing the degree in education, Teacher Marie realizes that learning never stops. In fact, she accumulates more knowledge after leaving the portal of her alma mater. This typifies what kind of philosophy? The one I told you in the previous question, this philosophy really adheres to the principle that learning never stops or learning is a continuous process. And that philosophy is progressivism. Letter C. Number 29. Rian Therese is an advocate of the principle making the most of your life. She is indeed an advocate of what kind of philosophy? Making the most of your life is synonymous to living life to the fullest, and that belongs to the philosophy of letter A, humanism. One best example of humanism is katong The Hierarchy of Needs by Abraham Maslow. Ato makita ang pinakaibabaw nga level is the self-actualization which denotes living life at the fullest. So letter A is the correct answer, humanism. Number 30. Student Diane hits her classmate. Confronted with this situation, what should be done by a teacher? A. Ask her aggrieved classmate to hit her too. B. Request her to stand for the entire period. C. Give her a failing mark in the subject. Or D. None of the above. Obviously, the correct answer is letter D, none of the above, because choices A, B, and C are prohibited or not allowed in the classroom. 31. Principal Lourdes asks the assistance of Teacher LV to prepare the report to be presented to the district supervisor. After the presentation, the district commended her for the excellent report. She even asked her to print the materials for distribution to other principals. In the printed work, Principal Lourdes did not even acknowledge Teacher LV. Is this morally correct? Of course, it's not morally correct. So the answer is letter D. None of the choices is correct because choices A, B, and C all said it's right, it's correct. Yes, mantanan. But then it's wrong. you have to give the credit to whom the credit is due. So the correct answer is letter B, none of the above. Okay, number 32. During the class reunion of Teacher Eloisa, she learned that most of her classmates are successful in their field. Also, she found out that most of them are wealthy because they have chosen a lucrative profession. Confronted with this situation, how should Teacher Eloisa react? A. Hide to those who ask her real profession. B. Leave the event so as to avoid being asked on her profession. C. Tell with pride that she is a teacher by profession. D. Answer not her question concerning her profession. So obviously the correct answer is letter C. If somebody asks us about our profession, we should never be ashamed that we are a teacher by profession. Letter C is the correct answer. Number 33. Teacher Marie is a very dedicated teacher in a nursery. Her foremost concern is for the students to learn how to adapt themselves in the environment. This shows that Teacher Marie upholds this kind of philosophy. So take note of the phrase adapt themselves in the environment. So it talks about environment, nature. So the correct answer is letter A, naturalism. 34. Teacher Roy serves as an inspiration to his students because of his efficiency and effectiveness as a teacher. The mindset of his students towards him is an instance of what kind of philosophy. So, sa to pa, in this situation, Teacher Roy served as the ideal person being looked up by the students. So therefore, the philosophy here is idealism. Letter B. Siya may giset as the ideal or the model person, the model teacher sa mga estudyante. 35. Kian learns well through active interplay with others. His learning increases with engaged in activities that have meaning in him. Which philosophy can describe this? Di ba? Kini nga philosophy, this means that we have to make our lessons relevant to the learners, meaning meaningful to the learners in order for them to get engaged with the lesson. So that philosophy is called progressivism. Letter A. Okay, number 36. Which of the following pillar of education is vital in the building of a genuine and lasting culture of peace in the world? The answer is very easy. Letter C, learning to live together. So may clue diha, ang lasting culture of peace in the world. Diba? If there's peace, then that means to say that people are living together harmoniously. Number 37. Which of the following pillar of education is dominant in the report of Edgar concerning the development of man's complete dimension? Complete dimension na gani isgutan that falls under learning to be or to become, to be complete. Letter D is the correct answer. 38. Which of the following instrument is necessary under the learning to live together in the pillar of education? Is it competence, communication, understanding, or all of the above? Of course, the most important instrument necessary for us to live together is understanding. Letter C. When you understand people, you respect them. When you respect people, and then they respect you back, they understand you in return, then you can live together. 39. The four pillars of education started with the report entitled Learning the Treasure Within. The report is about, okay, the correct answer is letter A. Insights into Education for the 21st Century. Number 40. Who among the following philosophers considered habits and reasons as equally important forces to be cultivated in education? The correct answer is letter C, Aristotle. Well, Aristotle considered human nature, habit, and reason to be equally important forces to be cultivated in education. the ultimate aim of which should be to produce good and virtuous citizens. Number 41. Mrs. Valenzuela is always guarded by the principle that she has a foremost responsibility as a teacher. Given the following, which do you think is the main responsibility of Miss Valenzuela? The correct answer is letter B, guide students in learning process. So the main work of a teacher is a facilitator of learning. So ang iyang main target is for the students to learn about the lesson. So mo nang facilitating learning, letter B, guiding the students in the learning process. 42. What practice or practices will demonstrate the teacher's genuine concern on the learning of students? A. Confer progress of students to their parents. B. Guide students to meet their learning goals. C. Validates if learning goals were met. D. All of the above. The correct answer is letter D. All of the above. 43. Learning is the process of retrieving prior learning. This statement is from a constructivist. Letter A, constructivist. The constructivists um, always believe that students construct their own knowledge using their prior knowledge or prior learning. Number 44. Which of the following is the most important component of education reform? The correct answer is parents' involvement. Letter D, involving parents in the education of their children. So, the most important component is here because teachers alone or the school alone cannot fully educate the child. The school should partner with the parents because the parents are, of course, the first teachers of the students at home. Number 45. Teacher Angelita is not only a competent teacher but also a community leader in their place. Which of the following should Teacher Angelita not do as a teacher? The correct answer is letter C. Always make herself unapproachable to every member of the community so that her decisions will have no effect to community politics. So, kung gabantay mo, kini nga question, kay pare-parehan ito na unang question na labyan. The correct answer is letter C. It should never be, I mean, si Teacher Angelita kay community leader man siya. So, therefore, she should always make herself approachable, not unapproachable. So letter C is the correct answer. Number 46. Teacher Helen knows of the illicit affairs that her colleague has with a married man. However, she chooses to be silent about this for the fear of getting involved in the situation. Which of the following principle of morality does Teacher Helen fail to comply? Letter B, do what is good. So, as Teacher Helen, you have to help your co-teacher na likayan tong married man. Number 47. The failure in the test of independence among Philippine students can be attributed to, oh, so na ako conduct na test of independence kung how dependent Filipino students are. Pero failure ang result, meaning the students are too dependent. So the correct answer is letter C, high degree of dependence to authority. So nagsalig ragid ang mostly ang mga Filipino students siguro sa ilang parents or sa ilang guardians or sa ilang teachers for the learning or for decision making. So fail ang test of independence. So ang atong possible cause ani is that our youth or Filipino students are too dependent to the authority. Next, number 48. Which of the following is not in accordance with the provision under the Code of Ethics for Teachers? Okay, so the correct answer for that is letter D. Kanang A, B, C, that is, or these are in accordance to the Code of Ethics. Only letter D. Kaning no school officials can be stopped from dismissing or from recommending the dismissal of a teacher or other subordinates na even without a case or a cause. So imo ra siyang ipadisig diretso nga hinungdan. That is not that is not good. That's very unethical. Number 49. Which of the following is incorrect? Incorrect. The incorrect ano niya is letter C. Teaching profession can be used in soliciting funds for personal gain. So wrong ni siya nga definition about teaching profession. Because teaching profession, ang definition niya kanang letter A o letter B. Last number 50. Teachers, being the trustee of the cultural and educational heritage of the nation, is under obligation to, okay, A, B, C are correct. So, sakto ng A, B, C, these are the things that a teacher should do because he or she is a trustee of cultural and educational heritage. So, all of the above, letter D. So, that ends this ends our discussion for this video. Again, this is all about social dimensions of education and the teaching profession. So, in the upcoming videos, alain na po ng subject atong i-test. Okay, so, good day and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.